Joining me now from Kuala Lumpur is political scientist Farish Noor, who is the senior fellow at the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. Now, Farish, amid the allegations of electoral fraud, let's look at the big picture here in the aftermath. Now, Najib Razak, the Prime Minister, had said soon after the victory was announced that the results show a trend of polarization which worries the government. If it is not addressed, it can create tension or division in the country. How do you see Barisan Nasional addressing the grievances of those voters whom they've lost?
Well, I think if we look at the election results, we see, apart from the polarization that you've mentioned, I think on the plus side, we also see the component parties from East Malaysia, notably Sabah and Sarawak, playing the role of kingmakers. And perhaps, when we talk about national reconciliation and representation in Malaysia, we have to remember that apart from the ethnic groups in West Malaysia, there are also the concerns of the ethnic groups of East Malaysia. So it's an odd election result in the sense that a significant number of Malaysians of Chinese origin, public representatives, are going to be sitting on the opposition benches. But I think the East Malaysian parties are now in a very powerful position as potential kingmakers, because effectively they are the ones who have given this victory to the Barisan National Front coalition. So it's a case of both sides having to reach out to very different constituencies stretched across Malaysia, West and East Malaysia, and the balancing act will be that. It will be trying to address the demands, many of them legitimate, coming from East Malaysians, from Sabah, from Sarawak, and also the different ethnic and religious communities in West Malaysia.
Also, well, Prime Minister Najib Razak is in a very difficult position as well, isn't he? Even if, we've just read out his quote, but even if he does try to address the differences, the polarization, even if he tries to address the grievances, he still has to appease the large majority Malays, of whom have enjoyed a very privileged, shall we say, lifestyle under the ruling coalition.
Well, I think when we look at Malaysian society today, the first thing we have to remember is that there's always this tendency to refer to ethnic groupings as homogeneous blocks, and that's not necessarily the case. What the last election and this election has shown is that actually Malaysian society is not simply plural along ethnic differences, but also within the ethnic groups. Clearly, judging by the results of yesterday's elections, we can see that the Malay bloc, if you like, is divided into three distinctive camps: the UMNO camp, the PAS camp, and the PKR camp. So when trying to balance all these things together, it will be a challenge for over the next 5 years, because I think both coalitions, the ruling coalition and the opposition coalition, in order to better their chances at the next election, will really have to start working on trying to devise the most inclusive form of pluralist politics possible.
Farish, thank you very much for speaking to us. Farish Noor there from the Nanyang Technological University of Singapore.